Good morning. Welcome to Core Services and our Core Belief Series, Why It Matters. Today we're going to be discussing Board Recruitment Made Easy, which is Chapter 7 of the book Trade HOA Stress for Success, co-written by Doug McLean, a managing member of the Core Services. And I'm John Caldwell, and I'm today's presenter. So a little bit about Core Services. We are focused on audit and review services for condos and HOAs in Oregon and Washington, and we have over 40 years of combined experience in performing these services. We also offer board advisory services where we can come in and mentor the board, do board meeting observations, and also vote counting for those times when you may want to have an independent, impartial vote count to make sure your owners feel good about whatever it is that has been voted upon. So today's discussion is all about the topics of board recruitment, and it comes from the book Trade HOA Stress for Success. And they had some great ideas in this one. Obviously, I don't say that just because I work with Doug, but these are really important things that probably need to be evaluated and understood. And one of the things is making sure that everyone you come in contact with can understand the board positions and their expectations. I have been to a lot of board meetings, and I've met with a lot of owners after an annual meeting, and it's interesting how few of them really understand what the expectations are. And they think there's a lot of hours, a lot of time commitment that goes into these meetings, and that's not necessarily so. So make sure you can explain what the president does and the treasurer and what the directors are responsible for when it comes to their involvement on your association board. And obviously, you want to be able to show your owners that you can run a very efficient board meeting. Make sure you always set an agenda, and on that agenda you may want to establish time limits for topics so that you can keep it under control and you can make the decisions that are necessary to move everybody out of that meeting as quickly as possible. So how do we go around the opportunity to build up either a list of potential board members or maybe to fill a vacancy that it currently exists? Well, one thing is obviously when you are preparing your annual newsletter or maybe even quarterly, send out a solicitation letter. Explain to them, your owners, what the purpose of the board is. Tell them how many meetings you have. Maybe if you can map it out, maybe it's the third Thursday of every month or every quarter. Make sure you can explain to them how often and where and when you meet, and then maybe explain what your idea of a good board member is. And obviously, yes, I mean, it would be great if everybody had a banking background or a finance background or accounting, but who cares? I mean, what's really more important is attitude. Can they bring a positive can-do attitude to your board meeting? Another thing you want to do is obviously you want to drive engagement and participation. And so how do you do that? Obviously, communicate regularly. That newsletter, your Facebook page. Maybe it's a committee that oversees that Facebook page. Maybe there are people around your neighborhood who love to write about things that are going on. So find a way to get people to participate, even on a committee such as communication. And then always recognize when people participate, even if it is just for that annual association cleanup day. Provide all the names of everybody who participated. It's a feel-good measure, and it also shows everybody that there are more people participating than they may be thinking there are. Another great way to get to a pool of applicants is create that social gathering. An annual cleanup day, like we said. I mean, it's a great opportunity to bring the neighbors together and have everybody, pair people up into teams, and they can go out and clean and they can talk. Maybe you have 5 or 6 various teams that go out and do things, which are led by a current board member, and the board member can engage their teammates with, in why they may want to consider sitting on the board. Don't be afraid to have a block party. I mean, I live in a gated community. It's a great opportunity for us to just say, hey, we're going to have pizza or hot dogs and hamburgers over at the little community park. Come over. No stress, no expectation. But if you can get people to participate, again, it breaks down those barriers to maybe not wanting to be involved. If you have committees, make sure they have real and important tasks to do. And if they need a budget, fund it. And if you don't have committees that handle certain activities, you may want to consider setting up committees to do it. We all think about the landscape committee or the ARC committee, but like I said earlier, maybe you need to have a communications committee whose job it is to keep the Facebook page updated. But give them a charter, give them an expectation, and turn them loose and hold them accountable. As we said, offer encouragement for participation. Recognize people when they do participate, and when you see your neighbor, remind them that you have something coming up and you'd really love to see them at that committee meeting, or maybe again that cleanup day. Understand that everybody's a volunteer, and so a few hours a year, and if you're spending half of that on why your neighbors aren't always cooperative, you're kind of wasting an opportunity. Always respect everyone's time. Respect the fact that you're not everybody gets along with everybody else, but they're willing to come together to solve a community problem. If you're a director or a board officer, walk your neighborhood. I'm fortunate I'm not on the board or an officer of our HOA, but I walk the neighborhood 3 or 4 times a day with my dog. Ginger and I go out early, we go out late, and we go out twice during the day. And it gives me the opportunity to say hello to neighbors, catch up with them, find out what's going on. I mean, it's great for obviously what we do, but more importantly, it makes them feel good, makes me feel good. Have a little block party where you tell people bring their own booze. They can bring their own food, but just an opportunity to get together and talk, find out about your neighbors. And again, especially if you're a board member, it's a great way to see if anybody might be interested in serving on the board when your term expires. Set up a new owner welcome committee. This was a great idea I saw a couple of years ago. And when somebody moves into your neighborhood, don't send them things, deliver. A committee member, an officer can go over there, knock on the door, take them the last three quarters of newsletters if you have them printed, take them a little gift. Fruit baskets are always great, and then find out if they have any interest, like serving on the ARC committee or the landscape committee. Because again, it never hurts to ask. As they say in sales, you already know the answer if you never ask the question. The answer is no. So all you're ever going to do by asking the question is get confirmation that you were right. On the other hand, isn't it always nice to be pleasantly surprised when somebody says yes? So we hope this has been informative on how to do board recruitment. As always, if you have questions, concerns, or would like to know more, feel free to contact us. You can go to contact. We have a contact form on our website, core-acct.com. You can also write me on Twitter, or you can find Doug and me on LinkedIn. The address is below. Hope you have a great day, and we look forward to our next presentation with you.